This story is not about COVID, but a story about COVID prompted this video. There are scientists at Boston University who have developed a COVID variant that kills 80% of lab mice. 80%. Now, not to fearmonger, the original strain of COVID killed 100% of lab mice. So win, right? That's an improvement, right? Well, they combined the original strain with Omicron, and that variant, this new variant, now kills 80% of lab mice, whereas just Omicron on its own killed 0% of the lab mice. Okay, so is that an improvement on the original strain, or is that making Omicron so much deadlier? What prompted them to do this? Did science gain anything because they did this? Other scientists seem to say that this was a mistake. Why did you do this? We know all of this. Why? Just why? Why? Anyway, I'm going to link those all at the bottom. You can decide for yourself. That is just the background that prompted this video. It prompted me to reconsider the notion that dumb people are the problem. People say it all the time. They say it so much that it's become a slogan, maybe a useless slogan. Dumb people are the problem. If only there weren't so many dumb people, the world would be a great place. Dumb people this, dumb people that. Me too, I'm very guilty of it. But let's think about this. Dumb people are not in a lab engineering a new strain of COVID right now. Dumb people didn't engineer the first strain of COVID. Dumb people didn't decide on lockdowns. Lockdowns have largely been considered a disaster. The children are dumb, they're fat, they're undisciplined, even worse than they were in 2019, which I didn't think was possible. So kudos to the people who proved me wrong on that front. Looking at a kid in 2019, I'm like, could this kid get dumber or fatter? And apparently, yes. Yes, it can. It was the smart people who were pushing for these lockdowns. But yet we still say dumb people are the problem. Dumb people are the problem. Is that true? We just say it so much that it has become a truth. But when you look at it, when you look at the facts on the ground, is that true? And how far does this go back, really? I'm doing a lot of research into the Inquisition, and it seems to be that in the Inquisition as well, we're talking about the 1200s, that it was the educated class that were the biggest danger to society. It wasn't the dummies. The dummies didn't know anything. They were in their little hobbit shire. They're just there. They don't know anything. They're just making meat pies. It was the educated elite that was causing the problems. Anyway, this is not about the Inquisition. Here's my thing. I don't believe these scientists are evil scientists. I don't believe that they're evil people. I think they might feel that they are doing the right thing. And maybe they are. Maybe I just don't understand it to that level. But they may feel they are doing what is best. Now, what is best? That often is a little murky area. And what is best for me and what is best for the world seem to overlap quite often, huh? So I can't put myself into the mind of these scientists. I'm just saying I don't think they're inherently bad people. I think maybe they're just not thinking of the consequences of their actions. Myopic. That's the term, myopic. They're thinking of this little tiny little thing. Well, they can't see the big picture, which is we don't want to have a super COVID out there. They do say in the article that it is unlikely that there will be an 80% kill rate in humans. Unlikely, that's not very comforting. Unlikely. We got so lucky with original COVID. We got so lucky that it wasn't a 10% kill rate. We got so lucky it wasn't a 2% kill rate. They're saying, well, in these mice, which may or may not be humanized, we're not going into it right now. In these mice, it's better than the original, right? Well, is that going to apply if it leaves the mice? I don't know. Do they know? Unlikely. They didn't even run this by the NIH. They just did the research. And then the NIH was like, what are you doing? And then they were saying, well, we have the right to do this. It's Boston University funded. And I'm linking it all at the bottom. But there is a debate as to whether these scientists got permission to do this, whether they need permission, which is even scarier, to do this. And we're hoping, fingers crossed, that if this gets out of the lab in Boston, a major American city, it will not have an 80% kill rate. It'll be better than the original COVID. Or so they say. They have no idea. They don't really have any idea. Maybe it'll get out and it'll be worse in humans. Who knows? We can only tell after the fact. Ooh, that's a funny thing about research that they don't tell you is They explain reality. They don't create reality. And this is another problem with smart people. This is another problem with very intelligent people, is that they are so arrogant sometimes that they think that they can dictate reality because things should go like this. It goes like this on paper, so it'll go like this in the real world. No. Humans don't dictate reality most of the time. We work within the boundaries of absolute reality. So we don't know how this is going to work should it get out of the lab, which it probably won't. We know that original COVID originated in a wet market, right? In a wet market next to the lab. Anyway, we're not going to this. This is not about COVID. We're not talking about COVID. That was just the prompt. The prompt as to why smart people are actually the problem, and they seem to be dumber than dumb people. An obvious example right now is the American university system, what's going on college campuses. I don't want to go into it because I don't want to get canceled, but you can check out my interview with Shapeshifter. In academia right now, there seems to be a lot of magical thinking that if they think and wish hard enough, they can change reality just by wishing for it. This is magical thinking. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Why do they think it? I don't know. Maybe they are so smart that they're creating this parallel reality, this parallel mental reality, and they're so arrogant that they think they can superimpose this parallel mental reality over our actual physical reality. Whereas someone who's maybe not that smart will just say, oh, that seems like a load of bullshit. And they'll say, oh, you dummy, you fool. But really, there's absolute reality, and then there's not, isn't there? So on college campuses, right now, the year is 2022. On college campuses, you'll see that the sports actually have a better understanding of the real physical world than a lot of these departments. And that's all we're going to say on that subject. Maybe it is because smart people overthink things. Maybe it is because smart people can be arrogant with their intelligence, as they should be, because we are flying in airplanes. You hear that over my house? An airplane, a smart person built that. So intelligence can adapt reality. It can't change the laws of nature, but it can adapt reality. And besides college campuses, we're also living under this threat of nuclear Armageddon. Nuclear Armageddon, no exaggeration, because we went over this in a video a few weeks ago with the smarties coming out and developing this bomb and then people stealing the bomb. And now we have to deal with the fact that there are so many nukes out there, and one of them may be headed for us. Probably not, but it's a greater than zero chance that we're going to suffer nuclear annihilation, at least over the next 100 or 200 years, much greater than zero. And who is to blame for this? Once again, intelligent people. Dummies didn't build the bomb. Dumb people can't figure out nuclear technology, atomic energy. They can't figure it out. They are not building the rockets that will take the bomb across the sea to us. These intercontinental ballistic missiles, dummies aren't making these. Rocket scientists are making these. We say rocket scientists, he's no rocket scientist. The rocket scientists are the problem. Okay. Dumb people don't even have the capacity to be a problem. Unless your biggest fear is having rocks thrown at you, dummies aren't the problem. They're just not. They can't get it together to be the problem. The dummy didn't build the gun. The dummy isn't making plastics. The dummy isn't engineering chemicals. All of this is smart people. Smart people did all of this. All these things we're suffering from. The combustion engine wasn't a dummy who built that either. This has me rethinking my entire worldview. It's not the dummies who are the problem. It's the smart people who are the problem. Oh, God. Dummies wouldn't even be a problem. We wouldn't even know about them unless a smart person built a phone and put it in their hands so they could tweet their asinine opinion. We wouldn't even know that dumb people exist. They wouldn't be a problem. But somebody made a phone, somebody made Twitter, and they said everybody can be on Twitter. Dummies too, especially the dummies. So look what's happening. And then the smart people are doing the social engineering. It's not the dummies. It's the technocrats. It's the people who can code. They're the ones doing the social engineering. It's crazy. It's not, some people don't even have it together to do all that. They're thinking about getting laid and eating, which, can be relatively harmless. They're not considering nuclear war. They're not considering how they build a hydrogen bomb or how to make a bigger weapon because they can't. They just know boom and bigger boom, and they don't have the capacity for bigger boom. They barely have the capacity for little boom. What have we done? We've blamed these poor people, and they really are just there. They're getting swept along with progress, and a lot of them aren't made for it. So they're revolting, they're getting addicted to drugs or doing other things. They're being difficult, and then, the intelligentsia is like, these dumb people are the problem. These dumb people are the problem. Why won't they catch up with us? Well, we're the ones making them catch up with us. We're the ones who are doing all the things. Oh, worldview shattered. This is a good day and a bad day, but also a good day because it means growth. It means we are growing when we shatter our old preconceived notions. Is there anything on the other side? I don't know, but that's been shattered. So I hope there's something on the other side. You don't want to go shattering preconceived notions and then you get there and there's like, where's my new notions? Let's go back to the preconceived notions here. I kid. And then like clockwork, cruel people use the work of smart people to hurt all people. But we can't ask smart people not to develop these things because that's progress. That's just the machine of progress. And it's going faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. So you got to catch up with it. And the ones who don't catch up with it, those are the dumb people. But who's making it go faster and faster and faster and faster and faster? Humans, humanity. It is the dance. I don't think we can get out of it. Well, these particular scientists at Boston University, these particular ones, they could have just not did what they did. Like, just don't do that. What about cancer? Are we still trying to cure cancer? Did we just decide we're okay with cancer? Why don't you all just cure some cancer, okay? And stop trying to engineer a mutant virus. Y'all just did that. So to sum it all up, I think we have been unfairly blaming dumb people for ruining the world. In fact, it has been smart people. A lot of these dumb people don't even have the capacity to understand why the world has been ruined. They don't know their place in it, and they're just getting lost. And who's winning? Who's winning? Smart people who are ruining the world. Oh no. Like, smart people invented the computer, then got mad at dumb people because they don't know how to code. What? It's unfair. It's unfair and it's super cruel, but we are still on that train of progress, so there's nothing we can really do about it. We all got to get caught up real quick. Also, in addition to getting caught up, maybe the smartest amongst us could stop doing dumb things like making super mutant viruses in a lab. Also, could you not destroy the fabric of society on a whim? Also, could you not build a ray gun and point it directly to the earth, maybe at your own house? And then you're like, oh my God, why is there a ray gun pointed at my house? Did you build that ray gun and point it at your house? Smart people. Hey, but we're in this together, right? Right, team? We're in this together. Just sometimes if you have an idea, I think about this a lot. Sometimes if you have an idea, just I'm not going to put that out into the collective consciousness. I'm not going to do that because it'll create chaos. It'll foment chaos. I'll just keep it to myself. And nobody will know I had this really smart idea. Oh, so I don't get credit for having this really smart idea. No, you don't get credit for having that really smart idea. Subscribe.